my name's Martin, and back in 2021, together with my partner Claire, we bought this house here in France. Welcome to our lost estate. Hi, I'm Martin.
And hello, I'm Claire.
And welcome back to our lost estate. Before we get into this video, we just both want to say a massive thank you to everyone for the reception of our first video. It went down a lot better than we were anticipating.
We were quite surprised, but thank you so much for all your support and the lovely comments.
Absolutely, the comments, we read all the comments, even if we're not replying to everyone. We make sure we personally go and read through every single one of them, and we so many lovely comments. I mean, I love the people participating about things like permaculture and their tips on that, and everyone seemed to be asking for more content, which is amazing.
So we have spent the last week or so planning out the next 5 videos, and we're in process. So
absolutely,
you will get your wishes.
Yes, very much so. But I think one of the big comments that stood out for us was people who turned around and said, "Well, it doesn't look like a typical French house."
And it's not.
It's not. No, it was originally a dairy based in a farm that was here. There's other farmhouses further around, but
200-300 years old, made of local stone, really thick walls built into the side of the hill to keep it cool.
Yeah, and then it was extended in the 1940s or 50s. We're not sure quite where yet. After the Second World War, definitely. And it was made into multiple apartments for accommodation.
Yeah. So there were 3 apartments as far as we know, and when we found it, it had been empty for 30 years?
Yeah, it was about 30 years from what we can detect so far. That there was just no one really living in it. There had been people in and out, clearly.
Yeah, and the last owner had been using it as a workshop and storeroom, and the upstairs kitchen had been used for his preserving, and we actually walked in to find a whole line of chorizos
hanging from the ceiling, yes.
And blood on the floor, which was nice.
Absolutely, yes. It was kind of, we walked into the house, and when we first saw it, and felt it was that kind of dark, dingy, dated, dirty, just dusty, all the Ds.
Oh, the cobwebs, they were like hanging right down, laden with dust in some of the rooms.
But yeah, we could tell it hadn't really been lived in for a long time because of the lovely 1970s decor that there was.
Yeah, which had overlaid the original mid-century styling, which we could just about see, and I have to say that really appealed to us.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Radiators.
That's the thing. We walked in, and despite the state of neglect it was in, it was kind of the structure was good. So
the windows, the light,
the light, and all of that were amazing, very much. Yeah. And yeah, as you're saying, the kind of the radiators. I know you love them.
I do. I love the little glass toppers as well, which are sitting on top.
They're very much not 1970s. They're like 1950s, when it must have those kind of touches from that original upgrade they did, extension they did.
I love them. There's some beautiful tiling in the 2 shower rooms, and also I do love the glass panels in the internal doors.
But yeah, we kind of, after the first look, I took it away, and because it was a bit of a mishmash where they'd tried to make it into the apartments and it didn't feel quite right, did it?
And there was plans to make it into gîtes, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. So I took away and plotted it out on the computer and used various apps that then had a look at it and said, well, how do we make it a home for us?
Yeah, and we got the builder to come and check it, and the structure was sound, and we could see how we could adjust it to suit ourselves.
Yeah, we were kind of, well, if we take out this wall here and that wall there and open out the space.
Absolutely, and it's built on 2 levels, so you go in at a lower level, up some stairs to the back of the house, which the 2 original apartments up there, they faced onto the patio, and so that naturally has lent itself to an extra large living area, hasn't it? It's got a barbecue built into the wall, into the next lawn, under the next lawn. The magnolia hangs over one end, and it's beautifully designed, I think, is what we kept feeling. Even
once we figured out how we changed the space to work for us, it just then seemed to start working. And
yeah, so let's walk you through from where Martin walked in at the beginning of the video. That's the front door, built into what we think was the old entrance to the dairy. Goes into a very large hall with stairs at the back, and as you can see from the original photo, where the glue is at the back on the stairs, that's the panelling continued up the stairs. To the left is the utility room, and subsequently a boiler room was put in the back of that. That had the old dairy window and dairy door in there when we bought it. And then to the right is another room with a radiator, pretty lights, which was obviously a functioning room of some sort, which is now our spare room, spare suite I should say, it's that large. Beyond that was what we call the bat cave.
Not as in Batman, as in a literal bat we found in there when we moved in.
The whole house, as we mentioned at the beginning, was open. It was unsecured.
The bat decided to fly out of his own accord and hasn't returned, thankfully.
No.
But,
and then what had been a washroom, part of the dairy, had a dairy window, and then became a garage, which we've now closed up to make a bureau. And that's downstairs. And upstairs, you go up the stairs at the back, that takes you into a little lobby, and the door to the north end apartment, which is Gai Logis, name on the door, which was lovely, and it means happy home or cheerful home.
It's lovely seeing all those original
really
touches.
Gorgeous.
That's got to have been from the 1950s, definitely.
Yeah. Martin was a little horrified about this particular part of the house because it was just a long corridor with lots of doors.
I walked in and I almost got lost, having only come through one door, because it was a big long corridor with about 10 doors off it. And
he exaggerates slightly, but not much. So as you came into Gai Logis and turned right, there was the back bedroom, and then at the front of the house there was the salon. Then straight ahead from the entrance door was another bedroom, which was then subsequently turned into the kitchen. And to the left of that is a very large shower room. And at the back of the house, front of the house, actually facing onto the patio, is the toilet. And then beyond that, you have to go out of the lobby and along the patio to get to the Magnolia apartment, as we call it, because it didn't have a name. We can see it did have a name.
There was a label on the door, but it went many years ago, clearly.
And that was a single room apartment with a salon facing onto the patio, the bedroom at the sunny side of the house, and an ensuite, and another single loo at the front. They were obviously entertaining in these salons to have second toilets.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused as to how they actually made any food around here, because there were no kitchens in there at all, so definitely more things we've still got to figure out.
It's a bit of a puzzle. And then subsequently the two apartments were knocked through with a brutal off-centre.
Yeah, they kind of went to cut through from both sides and missed.
So there's this entrance which is too narrow, and it's a really steep step because the apartment's on a level, and it wasn't finished, so it feels like it was much later because it's not at the same kind of finished high level of the 50s.
Yes, one will have to figure out at some point and correct ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
More fun for me and challenges of how I go and drill a hole through that lot.
So
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, we've spent the last couple of years getting to phase one. We've taken down walls between the bedroom and the salon this end, where we're sitting, and a wall between the bedroom and the salon the other end to make our salon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You helped along with that.
I did, yeah. We took down walls, and we've got our utilities connected just for us because it was coming via the farm.
That was a complicated challenge.
That was complicated, especially with only basic level French, and a whole different process to what we were used to. And we've cleaned off the psychedelic wallpaper and made good, insulated.
Stripped and cleaned all the rooms. Yeah. I mean, when we moved in, we just needed, we cleaned about 3 rooms so we could move in straight away, and since then we've just worked along all of them, haven't we?
Yeah, we've put in nearly half the insulation and insulated the loft, and we've replaced the oil boiler with a heat pump.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Massive.
Yeah, for our eco desires, getting rid of that oil boiler was huge, and also for our financial desires as well, because the price of oil nowadays. But
absolutely.
Yeah, we're very pleased to have the heat pump in and working well, which is good. But yeah, that's then kind of where we've taken 2 years to get to, isn't it?
And this year we have the house being rewired because it's original wiring and it's a bit scary in places.
Yeah.
So that's in hand. We will be moving the kitchen out of the old bedroom.
Yeah, you're giving me the challenge of learning cabinetry and improving my carpentry skills for building a brand new kitchen for us.
And we have boarded out downstairs, or I haven't actually, Martin has boarded out downstairs, and we are going to fit a bathroom at the front in the back cave, which will service the spare suite and any guests.
Yeah, any guests that we have coming, just have a downstairs bath and a place for me to have a nice big shower.
Yes.
Which would be lovely.
And get our bureau finished so that we've got proper recording studio and office down there as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been quite a tough journey getting here already. I know it's taken a lot longer than either of us wanted.
I've been here all the way through, but Martin was working back in the UK, so I had to go back
various
regularly.
challenges that made it very complicated with me working in the UK still. But I've applied and got my visa now, so I'm out here all permanently, which is really good.
Yeah.
And going to be working towards making progress on that now and seeing if we can get through a bit faster than we did the first 2 years.
So we will catch up in the next video about the other buildings on the estate.
Absolutely.
Clearly it's not just the house.
There's 3 more buildings to go, including just the little sneak teaser of the treasure barn, as we call it, which is fun.
We'll try and put a map up as well so you can actually orientate yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this obviously a quick intro to the house and where we are. Once we get out into the estate a little more, having a map I think will be very useful. So we're working on that as well.
And what we'll do in Patreon as well is we'll take you around each room in a bit more detail so you can see more before and after.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to be uploading plenty more behind-the-scenes content, additional content to Patreon. So if you're interested, then do check us out there as well. But no, thank you very much for all watching. And yes, we look forward to catching up with you on the next video.
Yep, goodbye.